Good afternoon. Imagine thinking back to being a college student and picture waking up daily knowing there's a group of individuals that would like to cause you harm and the university you attend, primarily solely for seeking an education while still having to manage and balance all the responsibilities of student life and overall fear. This is a current issue facing Yobe State University students having to face the Boko Haram. My colleagues and I have come up with various solutions to improve their situation. Now I would like to introduce to you my colleagues. Beginning with my colleagues, there are 5 individuals besides myself. First off, we have Frank Nowosky from Florida, Jaden Donofrio from Florida, Luisa Quinones from Colorado, myself, Mariana Suarez from Florida, Benjamin Warchowski from Virginia, and Rodolfo Flores from Illinois, who could not be here today.
The largest threat facing Yobe State University is the Boko Haram. So the Boko Haram is a northern Nigerian terrorist group that utilizes small arms and bombs and attacks with up to 1,000 people. The current response of Yobe State to one of these attacks is calling the military through the use of their cell phones. They use cell phones because their walkie-talkies are broken currently. However, the cell phones that they do use aren't always reliable in Nigeria. This is because the government's power grids shut down at random times in the day. This could lead to a delayed reaction or a lack of a reaction by the military. The reason why we call in the military is because, according to Nigerian law, the security guards are not allowed to carry or bear arms to defend the university. So we feel that improved communication with the military is necessary to be able to speed up their reaction time to an attack, and so the military can combat Boko Haram directly. When an attack does occur, the procedure of students and staff is going into the shown security safe house and going underground, where they wait for the military to respond. Currently, the students are directed to this building through the use of whistles carried by a few security guards. This system is ineffective since the whistles aren't very loud and the students might not be aware of an attack. An effective process to get to this security safe house is very important because many students are vulnerable to getting attacked when traveling there. Students and staff are not fully used to this process since there have been only a few real-life applications. In reference, the last attack by Boko Haram at Yobe State occurred in December of 2014.
Now that we have identified the problems that Yobe State University is facing, we want to present the solutions that we have developed. The solution that we are offering for the communication problem is acquiring walkie-talkies. The walkie-talkies are going to improve the communication between the guards because currently they don't have a stable way of communication. Furthermore, by implementing a siren system, the student safety is going to be superior in case of an attack. The sirens are going to notify the students of an attack so that they can move to a safe location. This will help because they haven't had a system that rapidly and efficiently notifies the students of an attack. Along with that, there is going to be training. They are going to be trained with the new equipment so that it can function properly and the guards know exactly how to use it. The training and practice for the drills for the students and personnel will guarantee their safety in case of an attack because they'll know what to do. The sirens and practices are going to direct the students to specific shelter in order to make sure that everyone reaches safety rapidly. The last solution is to acquire a storage unit. The storage system is going to preserve the equipment so that it remains durable. The equipment they used to have was destroyed due to poor maintenance, and this solution will prevent that. Now, Ben will address all of the advantages to our solution.
So the purchase of these walkie-talkies will improve the communication between the security guards and the military who respond to terrorist threats. These walkie-talkies will always be able to be used since they don't rely solely on electricity and allow for a long range of communication. A long range of communication is important because the closest military is stationed half a mile away from the university, and their reinforcements are around 2 miles away. Our plan for doing practice terrorist drills are very important because it will make sure the students and staff become more familiar with the procedure of going to the security safe house. The purchase of the air raid sirens is also important because they are loud and will help to alert the students and staff that a threat is present. The air raid sirens will be more effective than the whistle system that is currently in place. The storage system for the materials will be better than before, so we hope that the equipment we buy will be usable for a long time. The cabinet shown in the past slide is a useful purchase since it's secure. It requires a key to open it. This will reduce the chance of losing the equipment or having it be stolen.
Let's now look at things that we wanted to address but didn't have the money to do. First, I want to let you know that our solutions are meant to ensure the actual safety of the students and staff rather than the actual deployment of defenses against an attack by Boko Haram. Due to this, the university has no deterrence against an attack from Boko Haram. The next disadvantage is that our solutions require good maintenance. It relies on the guards to provide the right type of care for their devices. But to counter this, we have decided to provide them with videos to learn from. We don't know how effective they'll be, but we are sure that this will gladly help them in providing good maintenance for their materials. Lastly, we need total cooperation from the students and staff to ensure that the lockdown is placed correctly if the situation arises. Now let's restate our goals. We wanted to improve the way of communication for the university, decrease military response time, and improve alert time for a pending attack through Boko Haram. Through the uses of the communication devices that we will provide, we will do so. Our solutions accomplish this in amazing ways. With our solutions, there will be a lower chance of death for the students and staff of the university, as they will be more organized and prepared for an incoming attack. With all of this comes, how do we want our solutions implemented? The walkie-talkies we are planning to acquire for the university come with a 19-pack and are top of the line. We wanted to make sure that we got the best available walkie-talkies for the university. We firmly believe that these walkie-talkies are better acquired through the United States rather than Nigeria, as we know for sure through the reviews and through the actual company and brand that they are for sure durable, long-lasting, and top-of-the-line products. We hope to deploy one at each checkpoint with the boss of the guard force and wherever else they believe is strategic. For example, it might be other guard posts. As far as the air raid sirens, the head of the guard force may deploy them wherever he sees fit to alert the students in the event of an attack by Boko Haram. I'm going to pass it off to Frank to discuss the budget with you.
All right. Our official budget for our solutions is this. We will get 19 walkie-talkies through an online seller for around $779. We will purchase them off Amazon, and this price is also including international shipping costs. This is a lot cheaper and better quality than the walkie-talkies in Nigeria. In addition to this, the storage system that we are planning to buy will cost around $300. We are also planning to get 6 extra chargers for the walkie-talkies. This will cost around $80. Lastly, the air raid sirens will cost around $285, which includes shipping, and we are planning on getting 5 of them. This will come out to roughly $1,400, which is equivalent to 566,979 Naira. We spent lots of time researching these materials, and we are sure that they are high quality and will not break. We know that this is more than the grant allows, but we are planning to collaborate with the Army team to buy some of the walkie-talkies and also the Air Force team with some of the extra funds. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. We appreciate your time and consideration. If you have any additional questions, here are our emails. Thank you.
Marshall, just letting you know that you're on mute if you're talking.
Thank you, Christina.
what I was saying before was great job, guys. Christina, can you just let the judges know the time on that before we start?
Yes, so they were 9 minutes and 45 seconds.
Wonderful job, guys. Okay, Rusty, I would love to hear your thoughts.
Okay, well, great job. First thing to the point that that Marshall just asked about, great use of your time. Okay, you can't get much better than that while not going over. So so great. One of the last groups, Bill basically pointed out, no, maybe it was Rick, maybe it was both of you, I can't remember now, but the idea of collaboration. I thought that that was a huge part of all three of the presentations we've heard, and you were over, so you needed collaboration. And my experience with collaboration with the government is the same as Rick mentioned. Probably Bill has experienced that as well. In the FBI, we're a very parochial organization, and if it wasn't invented here, it ain't very good. So collaboration was not something I saw a lot of senior managers in the government be willing to give up something to get something through compromise with another group. So that's an important lesson to you as you go forward, because you're going to be only as strong as you're willing to work with other people. None of us can do it by ourselves. Great slides. Loved your slides. Loved how they popped out. As you know, that's one of my big points. Mariana, Luisa, Jaden, great hand gestures. Luisa, whatever you're selling, I'm buying. Your enthusiasm was infectious. I thought it was terrific the way that you took over your segment and looked right at us and with enthusiasm and hand gestures sold. As a matter of fact, I can't remember what you're selling in that segment, but I will buy it anyway. Good eye contact from all of you. I thought a clear articulation of the threat, the vulnerabilities, the countermeasures. The countermeasures you proposed were logical. They were necessary. The equipment, you got to the best equipment that you could get for the money that you had to spend. And I think that's key to being successful in any sort of work with a counterpart in another country, is try to spend money wisely and come up with something that's going to work for the longest period of time. Doesn't have to be changed out. I would have liked to have heard a bit more in your summary of what you were all about, bringing it all together and saying, you know, and Frank, you started to do that, but I don't think that you spent enough time going back and pulling all the parts together for us, because I forgot what Louisa was selling, and I wanted to remember that because she did such a great job of selling. Good job, folks. Terrific. I enjoyed watching, and you did a great job. So congratulations to you all. Marshall, I've used everybody's time. You don't have any more time for critiques at all.
Rusty, I appreciate your well thought out thoughts to the students. Thank you very, 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 very much. Bill.
Yeah, I'm going to say this, first echo what Rusty said, great job. I was going to say very good, same thing. Yeah, I mean, these presentations, Marshall, have been really outstanding across the board this time around. Marshall and I, you know, over the last 5 years, I think it's been have sat through these things, and some of them have not been up to the par that all these have been up to. So a very good job. You know, Rusty put it, Luisa, whatever you're selling, I'm buying. I'm going to tell you, whatever all of you selling, I'm buying. You all did a great job. Mariana, I really liked the way you started off with the description of the students and the life and the fears that we'll have with all this. Really, Benjamin, great pictures of Boko Haram in the military. I mean, those types of pictures are eye-opening when you sit there and you see not only did Benjamin have the pictures, but Jaden had the pictures up there. Those types of pictures, I mean, you get to see what you're dealing with. These are not, you know, nice, friendly people, okay? And then also, Benjamin, I like the picture of the military too. Good pick. It's not like, I mean, I was in the Army, you know, 26 years, so it's not like a picture of a U.S. Army base, okay? It's a little different. That's the way it is in most countries around the world, very similar in Greece and Turkey and other places I've been. So those type of pictures are worth 1,000 words. Luisa, a good job with the problem solution discussion. I like the way you did that. The problem, show the little chart there you had. That was really nice. One of the things I think it was Benjamin said later is make sure that the military is going to get some of those walkie-talkies. You might want to think about giving them 2 because they obviously have a problem maintaining them, or maybe, you know, so they have a backup and then have them bring them back for repairs. So I think that was mentioned with the equipment and the storage and all that. So very good job. You know, Benjamin, you came up, you did continue to do a great job. I already mentioned Jade in the picture of the Boko Haram and the arguments he brought forth, and then Frank, the budget. I'm not really worried about the budget thing. It is over. It's over quite a bit, like 40% over. The other group didn't have enough stuff to cover it, but I think there are some things that could be done. But if we had time for more coordination between the groups, I think there's some things could be done to get the bill down to the 3,000. I think some of the printing costs seemed a little high to me in one of the other groups. Maybe there's some ways in the walkie-talkies you could figure out maybe just cutting 1 or 2 or something. But I really want to leave it on this note. It was a very good presentation, and you know, whatever you guys are selling, I'm all in. I bought it. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill, very, very, very much. Rick, we would love to hear your thoughts.
Again, we said it for the other groups, but I'll say it again. This is being done at a really, really high level. You did a phenomenal job. I would love to have you all as colleagues. Starting with the description of the threat. Absolutely phenomenal way of breaking down, hitting all the details without hand-waving things. And it respected the audience, but also hit a lot of details that we may or may not have at the front of our mind. The type of attacks that Boko Haram makes, for example, the numbers of people involved. That's things I know. It wasn't at the top of my head until you brought it there. Talking about the walkie-talkies and redundancy, there's a phrase that we like, which is 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So to Bill's point there, one piece of constructed feedback, I forget who said it, but somebody said something about the university having no deterrence. I would avoid that because your solution helps make their attacks less effective, which gives them some amount of deterrence, even if it just means that other targets look more attractive. Same comment about the conclusion. I think you could have done a little bit more to bring us all back around and hit the high points again. As far as delivery, I thought it was really, really good. Eye contact was excellent. Pacing was really phenomenal throughout. And I think of the 3 groups, you probably looked the best prepared and familiar with your material. It didn't feel like anybody was reading or reciting. It was really, it really felt like it was coming from the heart across the board. Mariana, awesome job setting the tone and pace right off the bat. Luisa, absolutely phenomenal. Like the face and body language and everything all around, just really, really excellent. I thought your prep in particular was just phenomenal. And Jaden as well, like really nice body language and really nice prep. And if I didn't say your name specifically, it just means that I didn't get a chance to write it down because everybody did a really, really nice job. So well done.
Thank you very much, Rick. Umar, please tell us what you think.
All right, guys. First and first, one thing I noticed about your group is that you actually did a very good research, and your research actually make you to consider how your solution can possibly work in Nigeria, which is really, really important. Again, you use an effective system that I think none of the group mentioned it, using SRN, which is very, very important. It's more or less like the most fastest way of communicating with the students or any other staff of the university. So that's really, really drew my attention because they are also talking about how can they have like the fastest system to alert people that there is a danger coming or something like that. So you guys have brought so many things into your presentations, into your solutions, that it's entirely different with the other groups. So that actually makes it amazing. And taking into consideration, because your research reveals to you that the guards are not really taking proper care of their equipment. So, and then you feel like you really need to provide something for them to safeguard their equipment so that it will last long. It's actually a pretty good move. But apart from that, every single solution of yours is on point, and this is something that definitely is going to change a lot of things around at the university. So thank you so much for putting all this work together and helping the security department at the University of Yobe State. I really, really appreciate your effort, and I'm really proud of you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Omar. Everyone, please give the judges a round of applause. Admissions officers, as we had said before, the email for us is at the end of this video. If you need to verify any of the items these students did today, it's at the bottom of the YouTube video, and it will be on the student's website, which is linked here. Thank you so much for paying attention and listening to their amazing ideas to change our future. Christina, you can cut it.